welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Ben Slinger, and with me, as always, is Trevor Scott.
Hello.
How's it going, Trevor?
Good. Our last recording session before you leave.
That's right, yeah. So you'll be hearing this. By the time you're hearing this, it will be my final few weeks over in Canada. A long 10, 11, 12 weeks, something like that I'm going away for. We've been banking these episodes, and let's get into it.
It's currently the 1st of June.
Yep, it'll be August by the time anyone hears this. So, shall we predict to the future? What's going to happen in August? Before August? AI apocalypse?
Trump will be charged with multiple counts of some bullshit.
Douchewad. Yeah. Because Biden's going to bring that in as a crime. No more being a douchewad. Anyway.
I mean, the entire Republican Party would be in deep trouble then.
Oh, yeah, no, they're gone. They're fucked. What are we doing tonight, Trevor?
ClickPitch worked really well last week for those 3 episodes, so
let's do it. Let's
continue
back
going.
to our classic one-word ClickPitch.
Yeah.
So this is a game where we each have a random word generator in front of us, and on the count of 3 to 1 click, we are going to get a noun each. Well, it's not always a noun.
It's a word.
It's a word each. A single word each. Announce them to each other and to you, dear listeners, and then use that as a jumping off point for a video game design.
Yeah.
Purely improvised. Off the dome.
Off the dome.
So let's do it. 3, 2, 1, click.
3, 2, 1, clickety-boo.
Limping.
Music.
Okay.
I
wonder if maybe not specifically around like limping, but something where your gait, G-A-I-T, is affecting the rhythm of something, like music that's being played, and you maybe bring in different instruments where their tempo is based on their gait.
I kind of like the idea, and I'm not sure if this is where you were going, but kind of like Stomp the Musical, where, you know, it was all based off people doing random things.
Right.
And...
well, I think, yes, in some way that would be good, but I was kind of picturing almost like maybe not like an endless runner as such, but just that the people, it's like a marching band or something, right? But made up of all weird instruments and things. But yes, as you sort of add people to the band, they each have a different tempo that is affected by, you know, that affects their animation and how fast they walk and how fast they play the instrument. And their footsteps could potentially be the percussion of, you know, so you bring someone in, they basically, as they walk, they do hi-hats, and they're playing some sort of trumpet thing that just plays a melody to their rhythm, to their tempo. Mm-hmm. And I guess maybe the better a fit for your tempo, the more effective they'll be at attacking or something.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm imagining someone with crutches, and you get the ding ding, ding ding, ding ding.
Yeah, exactly. You can have all sorts of people in there. You got someone on a wheelchair that's just like a constant kind of
the squeaky wheel,
around.
like this. There's someone on a bike with those like spokes that
yeah, absolutely. They're playing the like 32 notes or something. 30 super fast.
And the idea is that you let, you know, the certain people in at certain times to try and keep the rhythm going. So
yeah, I think you can choose, and maybe there's some way that you can kind of alter their tempo slightly as you bring them in so that it lines up with your others, because you don't want to have like one person coming in at like 90 BPM and then someone next to them at like 137 or something, and it's just like completely never doesn't line up.
I'm just imagining that the way that you actually do this, you slow them down by them having to go through one of those like
obstacles in front.
So they've got to I've got to go through this. You know, the line S or whatever.
I don't know that would slow like that. It wouldn't make as much sense though that their actual like performance is slower than. They're just taking a longer path to keep up. Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess maybe that would make sense.
Because it turns out that the further along the line that they actually get, or closer to the end that they get, you know, that's when they're going to play their instrument, 5 times or 4 times within this.
Oh, because they play it as they get to like a certain sort of horizontal point or something, but they're
to gamify it so that...
Yeah. I don't know. I like the idea of just constructing that band. You would just end up with this weird marching band. I don't know then what the actual gameplay is for picking them up or
you're
attacking
fighting
or whatever.
You're fighting the devil.
Oh, I mean as usual. Yeah. Is that because he comes out with his fiddle? It's just musical.
Yeah.
The devil's pretty musical. While your cacophony is going on. All right,
3 to 1 click.
Yeah.
Suffix.
Bodice.
Ooh.
There's a suffix on a bodice. Can we add a suffix to bodice?
Or no, I'm just thinking... You got a bodice, so
it's like
some sort of vesty clothy thing.
Yeah.
So a suffix, which would go at the end, would be like wings and shit. Like it's add-ons. It's just add-ons to the bodice.
Right. Okay. So we're not taking it necessarily as like a word that you would add, bodiceism. But we're adding an extra word to it. So maybe it is around...
You just get to
bodice
add
could
shit
just be...
to
That's
it.
your base... That's your base outfit, right? Like you're someone... You're a woman, or presenting as a woman in a bodice. Like you've got a cool gothish maybe, or like Victorian style, or whatever you choose that would have a bodice. But then, yes, the gameplay is all about adding to your costume, basically. Maybe it's a cosplay game.
Oh, yeah. Why has that never been sort of done, where you can put together your own cosplay shit and, like, it's an online game where you put together your favourite cosplay sort of stuff that you can sort of sew together.
I mean, is that
and all
basically
this sort of
like
stuff.
Second Life or something?
Yeah, but it's
like games where you can really character customize. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. You give the tools to really build out impressive costumes.
And then you get to show them off to people in like costume parades. Like, I know,
especially if you can then allow for like lights and mechanical stuff, but it has to be functional.
Yeah. One of the things that I do kind of like, and this is something that has been in Fortnite quite a few times. There are people who have made maps where the whole idea is that they have like costume parades where they actually get to show their different...
Just show off their skins.
Show off their different skins and have competitions of, now I want to see something of this type. And, if someone's got...
Right, got
a costume that they've sort of put together.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll choose the right skin. I'll choose the right... What's it called? If you... choose the right back bling, choose the right pickaxe, choose the right emote or whatever.
Gotcha. So if you had that, but you were able to grab from
your own costumes that you've
stuff
made,
that you've built,
And the idea is
cool.
that with cosplay, that you do all that stuff yourself. Usually, you don't buy that stuff. So the fact that you can actually make some of this stuff within,
that's interesting. You can
tools.
have a marketplace, but it's not a marketplace of costumes or costume pieces. It's the like base pieces that you would then build from.
Yeah, it's like bits of foam, but they're polygons.
Yeah. So are we... you have to buy individual polygons. It's essentially just a modeling tool where you're buying polygons of a particular texture and size. Like with a particular texture applied. And if you want to change the UVs, you have to pay more money. Because that's essentially like putting a new actual like physical material on it.
Oh my god!
Or at least like
that'd just be fun, you know.
No, but I do like that idea of a very costume based sort of social experience. Then, in a way,
Yeah.
where you've just got a ton of creativity, a ton of tools that can be used creatively, and it has to be things. Then, like, you have to think realistically about, okay, what's the body size of the person, or the size and shape of the person that needs to fit into this. Like, it has to be realistic, but then because then you get the people who are creatively building, things with backward knees or like, multiple legs or whatever that would still be functional by a person.
Yeah.
Like, could be able to fit a person in them. I mean, essentially, if you did it well enough, it's just going to be a planning tool for people's actual cosplay, but that's cool. It's just a CAD program.
Yeah. And then I think end of the game, like I think there's going to be a solo, single player sort of thing where you may actually be running like a costume factory, and you're going through and actually creating different things on commission and that sort of stuff. And effectively what you're doing is you're actually building up your own costume thing that you now have access to.
Plus, running your Instagram and taking photos of yourself in the costumes you've made to promote your business. Yeah.
Instagram filters, all that sort of stuff. Oh, and then at the end you face off against, like, I don't know, the devil or a demon or something.
Maybe the devil.
Because, of course...
The devil's into cosplay.
Because, of course, my word was suffix, so crucifix.
Right.
Crucifix.
It makes sense then. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
3 to 1 click. I'm sensing a theme.
Contention.
Hell. No, I'm just kidding. Bunny.
Oh, okay.
Bunny in contention. Oh, this is like a low stakes argument between like two friends who over like a literal bunny rabbit.
Yeah, I think a bunny rabbit and the like bunny rabbit's hutch or whatever, like.
Yeah, or just like maybe a nice little story about, a couple of 12-year-olds or something who decided that they were going to look after this bunny together, but
they went halves on it, but then they've had a falling out.
Yeah.
So now,
it's a bit of a,
like they've almost got to go through like a divorce attorney sort of thing, but they're 12 years old, so.
Okay, I like that. Bring in kind of some of the Bluey-esque imaginative play of, going all in on a concept. And so, yes, you've got either parents or other friends who are now playing all of the parts in this civil case.
I'm just imagining one of their friends comes in and is like, okay, I want to play the arbiter. And it's like, we're going through arbitration. It's like, what's arbitration? It's something that my parents went through.
The Arbiter. It's that character in Halo. Comes out dressed up in a... But those sorts of little things, like, yes, basically a custody battle through the lens of what children understand about it is very fun.
Yeah, especially if all this kid knows is the word arbiter and everything else. Oh, I arbit that.
Look, I've been doing a lot of arbiting, and I've come to this conclusion.
I've come to this arbit that the rabbit is in arbit, and
the rabbit is, and there shall be some arbits required before we decide who arbits the bunny.
Yeah. 100%. Like that.
Yeah, that's funny.
So cool.
And the judge is just up there banging on the hammer because it's your 3-year-old like sibling that just wants to play with the hammer. The only reason they'd let you use the hammer is if they.
It's 100% stylized. Like I'm picturing 2D art style, not pixelized. I'm thinking more
No, I'm almost picturing like. I mean, there's an obvious reason for this, but like a Rugrat, like a Nickelodeon style, or just something like a cartoonish style.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then when it gets into the arbitration, all that sort of stuff, you see the 3-year-old with like the big powdered wig on, and you know, with a ball peen hammer, just smacking it.
Or just like one of those hammers with a squeaker on the end. All right, so I love the theme. I love the art style. What's the game? Is it where we're just sort of making it, you know, narrative-esque, you know?
Well, I think you get to find out, you know, what happened on the day that they purchased the rabbit, and you get to see little vignettes.
Right, so we maybe do little flashbacks to sort of explain the backstory, and then they bring out a surprise witness of, you know, the pet store owner or something.
Yeah.
And maybe shifts it, maybe it changes, when you get the other perspective, you go back and see that flashback again. But
different LUT that you run over it.
Yeah, so you get your different visual styles,
your different color palette,
so you can see. Yeah, so you know whose perspective you're viewing it from.
Oh, I mean, I love LUTs. You know,
I love LUTs,
but I love lamp.
Yeah.
LUTs, for those people who are not in the know, they're lookup tables where it'll remap, you know, the color spectrum to
basically a way
style.
to, like your Instagram filters, essentially. You know, you go to your frosty style Instagram filter. It's essentially just changing all the colors based on looking up which color it should be based on what color it is.
And it's so lightweight for video games and stuff like that because it's
it is just that you keep the numbers in memory and you just
change
per pixel by pixel.
Oh, it came for this color. I'm going to give you this color, and it's so really really cool. And it means that you could just dress the scene once and just changing the LUT depending on whose memory it is could change the whole feel of the look.
Yeah, if you do it right. Yeah, for sure. Cool. All right. I think 3 click.
Sure. Oh, and we forgot what happens at the end is the rabbit gets cut in half, and that summons the devil.
The devil, of course.
Yeah. Sorry, I meant to say that, but you know.
I mean, I thought it was a given.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bargaining sack.
Bargaining sack.
All right, get in the bargaining sack, you two. You're not coming out till you reach a deal.
Oh no, they're going at it again.
Hey,
told you we've got
another sack for that.
In there.
Don't make out of the bargaining sack. We've got the love sack for that.
Damn it.
The fuck sack.
Gary, did you put Barry White in there again?
Gary and Barry, get out of the love sack.
Oh, you're calling it the love sack now.
Well, no, that's the other one. The bargaining sack's over here.
Oh. Okay, I'll move.
It's only to be used for bargaining.
I'll move the Rod Stewart into the bargaining sack.
Yeah, that's the sort of music that you make a deal by.
Yeah, exactly.
3, 2, 1, click.
I
think we got as much out of bargaining sack as we can.
Oh, and the devil was there.
It was a different sack.
He was actually Gary in disguise.
He was in the hell sack. Rod Stewart is the devil. It's common knowledge. You.
Me.
E-W-E.
Me.
Oh.
Me.
Mine's the sheep type of you, though.
That is so fucking perfect. You. Me.
That's pretty good. Mine is the sheep type of you, though, so...
Okay.
This is Trevor, specifically, with a sheep.
I think... In this game, for some reason, I've woken up and I'm now a sheep.
Okay. A female sheep.
A female sheep, specifically.
Yeah.
And...
I mean, you could do with a shearing, Trev. That beard's getting pretty
sheep-like.
Shaggy. Yeah.
Pretty woolly.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no. Yes. Sheep have wool. Yes. I was thinking, no, they don't.
I had a little brain moment there.
Shit.
Sheep have, it's just sort of
it's cotton, isn't it?
Cotton, right? Yeah, like silk. some sort of chitinous material? Exoskeleton. So you're Trevor, you wake up as a sheep and you have to protect yourself with your neoprene exoskeleton.
Neoprene sheep. Because that's where neoprene comes from, doesn't it? It's just another version of sheep.
Yeah, totally. They just shear a sheep and make wetsuits out of it. Okay. No, I like the idea of specifically Trevor Scott waking up as a sheep.
Yes.
Is this sort of just like a bit of an arcadey kind of thing where you are running away from the shearers?
Yeah.
Or the kids who want to pet you, or...
I mean, it's Australian to like lamb. So
yeah,
I'm running
the
like...
butchers who want to eat you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons that someone wants to get a hold of the Trev sheep.
Yeah. And so I'm imagining I wake up in the middle of a field.
Yep. And you think you just, like, got drunk.
Yeah. You know,
can't remember
in
the night
media
before.
res, I wake up, you know, and it's like...
Close up on your face.
Close up on my face, and it's just an eye, and it opens, and it's not a human eye; it's a sheep eye.
No, it is a human eye. I think this sheep has your human face and beard. So it's close up on your face, and
the beard just continues down into
the beard. Essentially, just it looks like you've got the beard, but when it does zoom out, you see that the beard is just actually the sort of the part of your woolen.
Coat.
Coat? No, yeah, fleece.
Fleece, yes.
Is what I was trying to think of. Yeah, that is sort of bunched up around your face.
And I don't have the bald spot, or I do still have the bald spot.
You do, but only because a teenager did there's sort of a version of cow tipping. It's come and take a piece of wool off a sheep. Yeah, like I'll give a sheep a bald spot.
That's a very long, like, come and take.
It's called. Well, I was going to say it's called sheep shearing, but that doesn't sound all right because that's when you take all of it off.
Yeah.
Sheep trimming? I don't know. Sheep balding. It specifically has to be on the head.
It's called sheep pattern baldness.
So yes, that happens, and then I feel like it's almost a goat simulator.
Oh hell yeah!
Sort 100%. Of situation where you're just running around, getting into situations.
Me, Trevor Scott, the sheep, is running around. For some reason, I get a Lamborghini at some stage, and I'm driving around.
A Lamborghini?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did mean that.
Okay. You just didn't hit it hard enough, so I had to make sure.
Yes.
That's pretty good. A Lamborghini.
And what's his name? I can't remember the guy who's always in the Australia Day lamb ads. Sam, whatever his name is.
Shearman.
No, he's an actual,
I don't know.
Australia
is, disrupting the whole podcast just so you can figure out
Sam
Kekovich.
Sam Kekovich, he turns up.
Sam Kekovich, okay. Never heard of him.
You would have seen him in some of the ads if you've watched any of the Australia Day ads about lamb.
I probably haven't, but so yeah. Well, and I think you definitely turn up in the background of one of his ads.
You're sneaking
he's
through.
Filming an ad.
Yeah, he's filming an ad, and it's like one of those things where someone walks through the back of a news report, and they stop, and they just sort of stand there for a little bit, and I'm just imagining me
don't quite realize
trying on different sunglasses.
Totally, yeah, because he's sort of doing it in an outside mall sort of area. Yeah, the player's controlling you this whole time, though.
Yeah, it's in second person. Yeah,
yeah. So you can move you around, interact with all the different things. You're limited to the space that is within that shot for this little segment, or just whenever you get into that space, it cuts to the camera's view.
I'm just wondering if you did a whole game, and this is me going away from this idea and going more to the idea of second person gaming where if you're looking at security cameras and you're controlling the person on the security cameras, is that second person?
Maybe. Because I mean, you are viewing it
from the point of view. If you actually put it out that you're viewing it from the point of view of a security guard, watching security cameras, and he's switching between security cameras, and you're.
But then, what is third person? Like, I'm just sort of thinking,
third person is.
I mean, I know what it is conceptually, like, or like when it's been implemented and what that is, but like conceptually, what is third person versus second person? Because it's in both cases, it's an outside.
Yeah, but second person
view
is he is doing something, or they are doing something.
Well,
third person is
that. Third person is speaking about someone else. Second person is saying you. Like, because first person is saying I did something.
Yep.
Second person is saying you did something, and then third person is saying he did something. So how do you translate that into video games of me telling you what happened, me telling you the view of what happened to you? I guess maybe it's just sort of it's almost has to be a perspective thing of I guess sort of yes, the security camera would have that in a way because it's my view.
Yep.
But the story's about you. Yeah.
So, in saying that, and we've just it feels like
a little tangent,
a little bit of a tangent. Okay. In saying that, do the old Resident Evil games, which kind of feel, because of the tank controls, are they second person?
I mean, you could almost say then that any fixed camera, in a way, is. I guess it really depends on. I think it's probably pretty heavily depends on whether those views are supposed to represent a character's perspective
view,
or not. Yeah. Because otherwise, it's sort of just third person.
And we actually had a whole episode on second person gaming.
We've done it we've done it a number of times.
When we had the amazing game historian Jim Fishwick on the podcast.
When we had Jim on, we discussed a number of
real games that were
games, right?
That was second person, like the Doom mod, where
yes. But sometimes we do have to remind ourselves of that concept.
Yes.
I think should we quickly do one more in case I cut a whole bunch of that rambling.
I don't think you will.
Just in case. Steward.
Routine.
Okay. Maybe like a flight attendant.
Yeah.
And sort of a day in the life almost, or just like an everyday contemporary. Well, it doesn't have to be contemporary.
No,
he's a future flight attendant.
Ooh,
he's a flight attendant on like a
trip to Mars, where they
that could be interesting actually, because
where they jaunt.
Well, maybe not a flight attendant through the jaunt, but like a trip to Mars, trips to Mars have become, just something that people can do, but it still takes, weeks.
Yeah.
And so it is important that, we're trying to give these customers a comfortable time, a comfortable trip, and so that you're going to have staff who is employed to assist with that. So that could be an interesting perspective then. Talking to the other attendants in the staff room about the shitty passengers that you've got to deal with, and that you're stuck with them for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
Kids running around breaking things like the life support system.
For some reason, I just really like the idea of you're this new sort of hire, you're coming on, you're learning all the ropes, and you're also noticing some weird things that are happening on this airplane, where it feels as though sometimes
space plane.
I mean, seat number 13 is kind of possessed. Like, it keep,
Right.
every time that you're on, the masks drop down just on 13, and you sort of
Well, there's a lot that can go wrong on a very complicated piece of machinery.
Yeah, on the spaceplane.
It almost gives me a bit of like a Star Trek Lower Decks kind of feel, but instead of, being officers of whatever the Federation is, you're staff member, like you are attendants, and you're sort of dealing with the shit that goes along with this sort of trip.
Oh, and of course, because, these trips take a long time to get from...
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying.
To get from Earth
at least
to Mars.
Weeks. Yeah.
And you've got to be switched on a lot of that time. Like, these people don't want to sit down. It's like, well, the captain hasn't turned off the fasten your seatbelt sign yet. Like, you have to remain seated. So I don't care.
Yeah, look, like, the first 72 hours, you must stay in one spot. It's unsafe. We've given you, catheters, and
we've given you an iPad, which has, all the latest movie.
Yeah, that's right. Most of it. Most of the latest movie they made. Yes, we know that all corporations have merged into one single massive mega corporation, and so they only release one, 100-hour movie per year. But we've got most of it on here for you.
Yeah.
As much as we could fit on our storage systems.
Well, unfortunately, couldn't fit too much, so it's only at 300p. But, it's only a small screen. It should still look fine.
And speaking of P, as I said, when the catheter comes out of the cabin, in the ceiling of the cabin, that means it's pee time.
Except for if you're in number 3, in seat number 13, that mask should never be inserted because it may be possessed. And we don't know that yet.
And you don't want ghosts in your urinary tract.
No.
You don't want a urinary tract haunting.
Yeah.
We've dealt too many times with that.
A urinary tract infection. In fact, you've gone one letter backwards.
That's right.
UTH.
And it's almost as bad as a urinary tract infestation. And look, we got rid of most of the triples.
It's better than the urinary tract garden, because that's another letter back.
Well, you don't want that, and it's and you keep going back letters, and you've got the fungus, and that was we had to disinfect this whole cabin. So just be happy that you get a clean catheter while you're watching the 100-hour epic from Disney WB.
Yep. 127 hours uncut. Yep.
And speaking of if you're uncut, no.
That's right. 127 hours uncut in which you have to sit there and watch as a guy just yells out to be saved.
That's it.
And then decide around 123 hours in that he's going to very, very painfully cut his arm off.
Yeah, which takes the remaining 4 hours.
And he's just screaming at the top of his lungs.
Yeah. It's a remake.
It is interspersed with what people were actually doing during these 127 hours. So there's a couple of people going shopping and...
Yeah.
Someone enters the DMV at hour 2 and exit the DMV at hour 92. That's how long they were actually in the...
Yeah, we cut back to them periodically.
Yeah. They're still waiting.
What can I say? We replaced all the writers with AI. Fucking take what you're given. Anyway.
That's the end.
That's the end. That's all we've got time for this week. Thank you for joining us this week on Bitstorm. If you'd like to find all of our previous episodes, go to podchaser.com/Bitstorm. Leave us a review, and that's it. Leave us a review, please.
Thank you. Also, if you like the song that we play at the start and end of each episode, that song is called Mount Defiance off of the album Containment Failure by the band Kuradust. Go check it out. Free. Kuradust.bandcamp.com. Lots of songs.
That's right. So thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstomp. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott. And just be thankful that you don't have a urinary tract devil.
You don't want a UTD.